Good morning, loves. All right, we are talking today about letting it be easy. So I'm going to go live over on Instagram and then we will get into it. And I think this is a really important conversation too. All right, good morning. So we are live over here on Instagram. Perfect. So we're talking today about letting it be easy. And I had such a limiting belief for so long that if I wanted to have a certain amount of success or money or clients or a lifestyle, that I had to work really hard. Hey, Jamie, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. I thought I had to work really hard. I thought the harder I worked, the more I got, right? Because that's so much of what we're conditioned. And what I've learned is it's actually the opposite. And I'll tell you why. If you're like, no, Elise, I was told I had to work hard. So if you're coming in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, just pop in the comments okay, on those sites, I can't see you unless you comment. So pop a comment, let me know you're here. I'm so glad you're here. And when you're joining live on Instagram, share with me, do you actually think that the easier you let it be, the more you get? I'm really curious. Great. So Onyekachi saying that's so true. Great. So glad to have you. So here's the thing, and this is part of why this came up for me today. This has actually been the conversation I've been having with my higher level coaches, mastermind partners, peers, is deciding that it gets to be way easier for us. And this is not what I was taught. Hey, good morning as you're coming in. Thank you for the hearts. So I was taught and conditioned that life has to be pretty hard. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. We're talking about letting it be easy today. I was taught that life has to be hard, that sales has to be hard, that business has to be hard. Were you conditioned with the same thing? That was so much of my mindset was you got to work hard. The harder you work, the more you get. But it's actually not the case. Now, I want to always give a disclaimer that you're not going to sit on your meditation mat and just bring everything in that you want without any action. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is aligned action over hustle and push and forcing. And I'm going live this afternoon with one of my girlfriends, Allison Chavez. And one of the things that she says that I love is, when it feels heavy, put it down. So when it feels light, pick it up. When it feels heavy, put it down. And that was the opposite of what I was taught for so long, was that, even if you don't feel like doing it, just push through and do it. And I've found, I don't know about you guys, but for me in my own life, when I just keep pushing through something and it feels really heavy to me, I don't get good results. I did that the other night and I was I could tell energetically I was done. I had showed up for my clients all day long. I had been coaching hard all day long. And I was I've just, I got to push through one more email. And of course I do the email and I call the guy by the wrong name, right? So it's when we push and we push and we push and we push like that, and it's not aligned action, and it's that efforting, you never get what you want with that. Oh, Ian, I'm so glad you're here. It's great to see you too. So what I want to invite you to do is to make your own rules. It's to make your own rules about how easy it gets to be for you, how easy money, sales, business, life, relationships get to be for you, because you make your own rules. And you were conditioned growing up that things had to be hard. You're conditioned by the media that things have to be hard. And if you're going to get whatever you believe to be true for you. But when you start to believe that it can be easier, everything starts to transform for you. And here's the thing is, I spent, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this. Thank you so much for the hearts. Oh my gosh. Hey, Ashley, I'm glad you're here. I spent so much of my life in extreme anxiety. And I don't know if you can let me know in the comments if you can relate to that. But I was just so anxious around everything, around especially money. I had a lot of limiting beliefs around money and scarcity and lack, just limitations. And one thing that may be helpful for you, I don't know, this is coming up right now, so I'll share it, is if you don't understand why you have weirdness around money, if you have any fear of making it and it going away, or if you have fear of not being able to make it or not being worthy of it, money's root chakra. So as is your relationship with your parents or whoever raised you. So whatever the issues that showed up with your parents or whoever raised you growing up will tend to repeat themselves in your relationship with money, because root chakra is all about security and safety. And so we saw our parents or whoever raised us as security and safety, and money is like security and safety too. So I had a lot of those issues. And I spent so much of my life like, I'm going to make money and it's all going to go away. And I was like gripping and so tight and so scared about it. But what I've learned, and this is what I get to teach my clients now, which is so beautiful, is that it's actually the opposite. And for me, it took looking at, oh, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. It took, I get excited when my friends join. So it took looking at the results I was getting and saying, maybe there's a different way. Like, I'm getting this much success and this much results, feeling pretty crappy. And so maybe, I don't know what it is, but are there people who do this differently than me? Like, do I see people making a lot of money, making a lot of sales, and it's actually easy for them? And I looked, and frankly, it was because I was being coached and mentored by some of them. And it was like, yeah, it seems so much easier for them. So maybe, just maybe, that means there's a different way to do this than what I've been doing. And it could actually work out better. Because when we're so tight like this and just gripping so hard and we're like, it's so hard, there's no space for anything good to come in, right? Do you understand this? Like, even just if you look at that gripped hard fist, there's like, how are you going to expect to get anything when you're like, oh my God, it's like, you're so rigid, right? And this was, my own experience with having our son. And I know this is sensitive because I know there's a lot of women in my audience, and many of you are trying to conceive and wanting to conceive. So I really honor wherever you are on your journey. And I think everyone's experience is different. I know for me personally, and from a lot of the women I've spoken to, when we first got pregnant and then we miscarried, I was in so much fear that whole time. Like, before the miscarriage ever happened, I was in so much fear that I couldn't carry the pregnancy. I was in so much fear that my body wasn't going to do what it needed to do. And I was in just constant like tension and anxiety and fear. And sure enough, we miscarried, right? And when we ended up getting pregnant about 9 months later and had Jack, 9 months after that, I was at a point in my life where I was so relaxed about everything. And I kind of just surrendered it. And we were in the adoption process. We weren't far enough along to be matched with anybody yet, but we were in that process. And we were like, I talk about like being committed to the what, but not the how. So we were committed to, we want to have a child, like we want to grow our family. And right now, the best way that we're seeing is to adopt and welcome someone into our family that way. And so we were going through that process, but it was like this easy, relaxed energy about it. And sure enough, because I was easy and relaxed, we ended up conceiving along the way, and we have Jack now. And it was such a different experience the second time along. So I use that analogy just to say, if you look back at your life and you look back at whatever you've brought in that has been really great for you, and that's felt like a surprise, or that's felt, fear blocks so many things. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Whatever you've brought in that has felt joyful and expansive and way better than anything you could have asked for, look back and notice the energetic state you were in during that time. And were you in like grind and push and it's got to be so hard? Or were you kind of chill about it? Were you kind of chill and like, hey, I'm just really feeling good right now and I'm just really happy, and whatever happens, happens, right? I've got a guest coming on the podcast next week, Allison the Coursier. She's one of my clients and friends, and she's talking about how she launched a new business at the start of the pandemic, 0 clients, made 6 figures in 3 months. And she was like, Elise, it was the easiest money I ever made. I was like on vacation, eating charcuterie. Clients were just showing up in my inbox. It was so easy. And so, spoiler alert, like that's part of how it happened, but she's going to come on and talk more about how it happened for her. But that's what this is about. So I want to just, I just got off a call with a beautiful young woman who is in an energetic place similar to where I was a couple years ago in my life, and is just feeling a lot of fear and scarcity around money. And it's just from programming she received when she was growing up. But I have such a heart for you if you're there, because I know how challenging that feels. And what I would say is, if you can just find ways, if you can just relax a little bit right now, and just, even if it's just for the sake of feeling better, it's like nothing necessarily needs to change in your outer environment yet, although it will if you stay more relaxed and receptive like this. But I just want to feel good. Like, actually, all I care about is feeling good. So what's a thought I could think right now that would help me feel good? Maybe it's like, I love the shirt I'm wearing. Maybe it's Friday. Maybe I've got something fun planned this weekend. But like, what would help me feel good? The more you feel good, the more good you bring in. It's a universal law. You get what you are. So whatever you're feeling, regardless of the outward circumstances, you're going to start to match that. You'll match with other things that are at that vibration on an energetic level, and they start to get drawn into you. That's how it works. So the more you can just say, things get to be easy for me, and I'm super relaxed and just enjoying feeling good, and that's what I care about, the more what you actually want in your physical world will come in, and will come in faster for you. So I just felt called to share that message today. I hope that serves you. If you haven't yet signed up for Tuesday's masterclass, girl, what are you waiting for? Grab your seat, come join me. It's going to be amazing. We've got women from across the world signed up and registered for this. And it's all about, how do you create that next level financial quantum leap in your life, in your sales, in your business, but do it in an easy way. And if you've never experienced that before, it does not mean that it's not possible and true for you. It just means there's another level that you're being invited to. And when you reach that level, everything you want comes in faster, in a more effortless, fun, enjoyable, flowing way. So send me a DM if you want the link to register. It's going to be so amazing. I'm so excited to have this time and this space with the women who are there. So you also get live coaching with me. So go ahead and register. Register if you haven't gotten yourself registered yet. I've got a podcast interview. I'm going to hop off. Send me a DM if you have questions on anything else I talked about today. I want to help support you. I love you. Remember, let it be easy. It gets to be easy for you. Everything you want comes when you're in that easy, relaxed, receptive place. So, all right, my loves, so good to see you. I'm going to hop off for this interview, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.